Hello, my name is NicoleGee. As a culmination of learning the value and persona of the clinical nurse leader through Dr. Lisa Gifford's Foundations of Clinical Nurse Leadership course, I have arranged an interview with someone who I believe to be a positive representation of this emerging and essential role. In response to the growing need to address gaps in healthcare, the American Association of Colleges of Nursing, in collaboration with industry leaders, formulated the clinical nurse leader role through discussion and evidence-based research. The purpose of this interview is to provide insight and an example of a nurse leader in the real-world arena. Methodology for the interview included several open-ended questions in a free flow of information type structure in order to capture the true essence of Brianna's leadership style. In an effort to provide a respectful discussion, no recording was made further than the copious amounts of notes I made. Brianna Axline is an adult nurse practitioner and the medical director of the Marin Community Clinic's Greenbrae office. She is dedicated to a patient-centered approach to care through collaboration with patients and an emphasis on prevention and helping clients to reach their personal goals. Brianna has implemented best practice models for treating and educating about obesity, metabolic syndrome, hypertension, and diabetes. Brianna was chosen as a subject for the interview because she meets the description of a clinical nurse leader by maintaining direct patient care in addition to increasing the quality, productivity, and cultural competency of her organization through analysis and best practice methods. Brianna maintained a casual air about herself as she described her work milieu as organized upheaval, as her clinic is constantly changing to meet the needs of the patients and the staff. Since the clinic focuses care on the underserved, underinsured, and uninsured, the atmosphere and clientele are colorful and varied in need. That, combined with limited assets, provides a hotbed for resourceful solution crafting. Her situation is an easy parallel to what we understand of a complex adaptive system, as unpredictable variables presented by the multifaceted needs of her clientele have spurred new ways of approaching how they do what they do in order to improve, meet needs, and grow their structure of care. An explanation on how to effectively implement and sustain change emphasized that quality change happens through identifying needs. That is, genuinely look at everyday practice and outcomes purposefully in order to gain insight on what needs improving. Then use an evidence-based pilot as a test sample. The clinic is able to understand whether or not the change is effective and to design a plan that the staff have input and buy into to make it successful. Without using the exact term, Brianna's approach employs the trans-theoretical model of change. Brianna described herself as being passionate about her work and insisted that leading by example is critical for success, that leadership requires being support for staff, working with the team, and interest in the field and in her surrounding people, whether patients or staff. Also, that flexibility and creativity are essentials. She also stressed that no one person knows how to do it all well, and relayed that she and her colleagues use collaboration to maximize results by utilizing each team member's strength, which is a core value of the Rath and Conchi strengths-based leadership model. Despite notable achievements, some of her biggest challenges lie in time management, as numerous patient care issues, staff, and administrative duties are all vying for her time. Nevertheless, one of her personal goals is demonstrating that nurses are capable of being great leaders. In this, she is co-blazing a trail with other nurses that are creating successful medical homes in communities based on clinical outcomes and patient satisfaction. These represent a portion of the intended interview questions. However, we used a more adaptable and conversational type technique. I felt it was important not to stifle Brianna's explanations, lest I miss an important golden nugget of insight. Though the interview went well, it was difficult to stay on track, as Brianna is very conversational, jumping from one subject matter to another with ease. For the future, I would like to record the interview with permission and the understanding that the media would be treated with all due respect. It was also reassuring that many of my prepared questions were answered before being asked. In a quirky way, I often relate things to advertising jingles and slogans. After the interview, Just do it came to mind. The legendary Greek Nike drove horses and chariots through battlefields during times of turmoil and peaceful competitions, rewarding the victors. She was not the hero, but rather part of the team. I had to ask myself, why do I fear taking the reins? I believe the concerns holding me back will diminish to a healthy amount of trepidation with more experience both educationally and clinically. After all, Brianna Axline, nurse practitioner, is a great example of how everyday nurses with passion and dedication are making a difference. She echoed this sentiment with the words, make mistakes. Don't look to make errors. But experiencing mistakes can be great because they generate unforgettable lessons and make room for growth. Thank you.